What's up, Budget Wargamers? We're back with another edition. Long time no see. Just to fill you guys in, for those few who are actually curious where I was about 10 days in the Caribbean, enjoying myself, catching some sun, and was not able to post, but I am back in the habit again, like Whoopi Goldberg in Sister Act 2, and we are ready to check out some news. So bear with me. I missed a couple of the breaking announcements over the last couple days, but we want to dive into Codex Drukhari, aka Codex Drukhari, where all the points are made up and nothing matters. So let's take a dive into it right now on the Games Workshop website, where they have it up for pre-order, so you can pre-order it now, pick it up this coming Saturday, and pick up the Codex, some special edition Codexes, the data cards, a brand new Start Collecting box with different contents, and we'll take a dive into that and how that differs from the box that came out just a few years ago in 2016 at the start of 8th edition, because it's totally different contents aside from one unit that's in there, which could lead to a totally different playing dynamic of the Drukhari, and we'll also dive into the new stratagems. So we'll try to make this short, sweet, and rapid paced. So you can take a look at the pre-orders. If you want to pre-order right now, here's what's up for order on the Games Workshop website. Emperor willing, here it'll finally load. We've got the Eldar Collection exclusive Codex, so that comes with an additional art book. There's a lot more involved in that. So let's dive into Warhammer 40,000. Let's go to the Drukhari section on there. If I'm saying that wrong, just correct me in the comments. Phonetically type it out, because I read Webster's Dictionary. Not really. But there's a Court of Archon collection special edition. We've seen a lot of these special editions for all the new Codex releases. That's not for your typical gamer. It's definitely for your hardcore player and a lot of people who are hardcore into a particular faction. But you could pick up the normal Codex for $40, which will have all the same rules in it, just a lot less cooler artwork. So this is the new Start Collecting Drukhari edition. $85, price hasn't gone up one bit. You still have the 3 Eldar Jetbikes, but you're going to get a pack of Wyches, a Venom, those 3 Reaver Jetbikes, and then a Succubus. So you lose the Archon, you lose the 10 Dark Eldar, the normal Dark Eldar, and you're going to lose the Raider in place of the Venom. So through and through, this is all basically a Drukhari Witch box. So let's take a look at what the old version was. This was the one from 2016, which doesn't even feel that old at all. You were going to get the 10 Cabalite Warriors, the same 3 Reaver Jetbikes, so they're not any new models. You're going to get a Raider, and then you're going to get an Archon. So this was more of a rounded list, and a lot of people certainly like the Raiders, especially when you can fly your guys in, drop them off, get right into combat. It was a hell of a list to play against back in 6th edition. It seemed to have been nerfed since then, but it's up for you to decide, whether this is a better value than the new box. I'm sure dollar-wise, the models probably cost more in the 2016 Start Collecting edition, but this may be a sign, as I said, of it being a more playable box in the new Codex. So to get a little glimpse at that, let's take a look at Warhammer Community, where they've come out with Codex Drukhari Preview Stratagems. So this will be some of the stratagems that'll be in the new Drukhari Codex. So we'll just give a quick breakdown and tell you about what they're all about. For 2 command points, you've got Crucible of Malediction. I think all of the ones that are currently being highlighted are all generic. Okay, so I see one that's not generic of the ones that are highlighted, so you could tell that there's going to be different cabals. So remember the Cabalite Warriors, so you're going to see different factions, just like we've seen in Necrons, Imperial Guard, Space Marines, the whole 9 yards. But Crucible of Malediction says, for 2 command points, use this stratagem in your Psychic phase, and you select a homunculus from your army and roll a d6 for each Psyker unit within 12 inches of it. On a 4+, the unit being rolled for suffers d3 mortal wounds. So a lot of randomness to this, but if you have some Psychic units coming at you, be it from a Chaos army, it could even potentially be Grey Knights. All their units pretty much count as Psykers. Last I checked, at least. So go after them with this. For 2 command points, you can potentially pop quite a few mortal wounds onto the units with a lot of Psykers. So it'll help detract from some of the Psyker spam against your Dark Eldar list. I'm still going to call them Dark Eldar. I think Drukhari is really just an intellectual property rights play from Games Workshop in order to be able to copyright things and file claims against people using those, we'll forever call them Dark Eldar as the non-trademarked, unofficial name from the past. Soul Trap for 1 command point. This is a generic Drukhari stratagem. It is use this stratagem when an Archon from your army kills an enemy character in the fight phase. So you may or may not want to always throw your Archon into hand-to-hand combat, but let's say that you do, and you've got a balls-out attack approach, or you just happen to be in combat and slay a character, causing the final wound. You don't have to cause all the wounds. For 1 command point, you can beef up that Archon for an additional attack, strength, and leadership characteristic for the remainder of the battle. It doesn't say you can't stack it, so basically you can continue to grow 1 tough MFer out of that Archon, assuming that he doesn't start taking wounds and eventually die off, which would be an eventuality. And given that most games are going to last 4, 5, 6 turns, there's not a lot of opportunity for him to like double his stat line. But still, 1 command point, quite situational. It definitely is something that you can take advantage of when it's applicable. I would not necessarily go out running my Archon into battle just for the sake of beefing his stat lines up. But then again, it's cool to have, because if that was on your Space Marine commander or something like that, you'd certainly be taking that and playing that often for 1 command point. So for 2 command points, another Drukhari generic stratagem, you've got lightning fast reactions. So you're going to use this stratagem when a Drukhari infantry, vehicle, or biker. So this could apply to your Witch bikes, your Witch units, potentially that Venom. So this was something that's really going to be playable right out of the box with that new $85 Start Collecting Drukhari. So when that unit, excluding the aforementioned Coven and Uriel Rakarth, is targeted by a ranged or melee weapon, you're going to subtract 1 from hit rolls made against that unit for the rest of the phase. So it's a lot of command points, but if you have, let's say you have a unit holding on to an objective and your opponent on the last turn is just trying to clear them off that objective so that way you can't hold it, you could certainly throw down 2 command points if you have them left that late in the game and try to deter the wounds from coming in on you. Or there's other times where that might just be situational, especially given the lack of heavily armored troops within the Drukhari Codex. So this is something that we, being -1 to hit is actually probably better than getting +1 armor save. So, combine that with a unit that may be in cover. Not only are you going to be hard to hit, you're going to be hard to kill. So that's something that could be combined with other effects for a layered type of protection. So here's one of the Cabal specific stratagems. So this is only for Cabal of the Blackheart stratagem, or Cabal of the Blackheart. So this is specifically for 1 group. But for 3 command points, so this is a very expensive stratagem, you can use this just after your opponent has spent command points to use the stratagem, but you got to use it before the effects of that stratagem are resolved. So they need to declare they're going to use it and spend the command points, but before they roll the dice, measure the range, or whatever the determining factors are for figuring out what the benefit or effect of their stratagem is going to be. Now you're going to roll a d6. On a 1, that opponent's stratagem is resolved as normal, meaning you have a 1 in 6 chance of this not doing a darn thing. But here's really highly likely that you're going to affect that. On a 2 through 5, your opponent's command points are refunded back to them. So wish they were burnt, but they go back to them and you just use 3. But the stratagem they were using is not resolved and cannot be attempted again this phase. If you roll a 6, the stratagem they were attempting to use is not resolved, cannot be attempted again in this phase, and the command points are lost. So this is a big, you have to be trying to counteract one of the most devastating stratagems against your army, but it's provided you have the command points there in your pool and you're ready to hold that off at least for that 1 phase. So that is just 1 phase you're going to withstand that on a 2 through 5 and a 6. Basically, I don't know. I mean, when you're the victim of an incoming stratagem, you'll know exactly when to use this, so that'll certainly be up to you. But just sitting here giving you the armchair quarterback YouTube edition of when to use this stratagem, this is highly situational, and it only applies to this 1 cabal from the Drukhari army. So it's not necessarily something that you're going to dedicate an entire army to. And even here, only they'll be able to use it. So they're saying take a patrol detachment just to have access to the stratagem and be able to use it in your entire army. So are they suggesting that you wouldn't necessarily play a competitive list of the Cabal of the Black Heart? Possibly. But let's take a look at one last stratagem from there. It's Onslaught, another cheap one for 1 command point. I love me some cheap command point stratagems. This one says, use this stratagem before an incubi unit from your army fights in the fight phase. So you have to be taking that unit in your army to even have this become an applicable stratagem. But for every unmodified hit roll of a 6, you score 2 hits instead of 1. I like it. So now you can end up causing a lot more damage in the fight phase with those incubi. So that's just something to take a look at. They also clarify a little bit of a change between Index Xenos 1 and Codex Drukhari, between what the rules are for Murderous Assault, which is a Drazar special character rule. And the old rule says each time Drazar rolls a wound of 6 in the fight phase, he makes 1 additional attack. These attacks can't generate any additional attacks. I like that. It's kind of like rending. But the new one says if he charges in the charge phase, he can fight an additional time in the next fight phase. So basically, instead of a 6+ causing an additional attack, in this case, you're getting a guaranteed additional attack if you charge in the charge phase. Essentially, we're not the victim of the assault. So this is, it's okay. I like how they're comparing the old Xenos and the other different types of indexes that they came out with at the launch of 8th edition and clarifying with the Codex, because a lot of people are probably going to assume situation normal and not be paying attention to the fine print when they see that he had Murderous Assault before, he's got Murderous Assault now, and then what's the difference, he's going to be taking that. So since the last time I had to make a video, we have had so many people join the channel here at Budget Wargamer, and I gotta tell you, I'm super excited. I normally go through and list off all the people who have joined since, but given the special circumstances, I won't be able to get to everybody right now. But I would like to name off some of them and keep up with that tradition of showing thanks to people that are joining the community. So some of our newest subscribers are N. Stalky, thank you very much. Christopher Davidson, thanks for joining the channel. Tom Herman, I'm glad you're on board, buddy. Chris Wells 777, stay true. And who else can we grab here? Arjun Gurung, thanks for chiming in. Where are you guys from? Comment below and let me know. Even if you're not playing the Drukhari, it's still good to be able to get your hands on some of the rules, get a grasp on what type of competitive players are going to be coming your way with these special rules. It might help you try to build a defensive strategy in your list to counteract some of the Drukhari players that are coming in. A lot of you guys might be thinking, oh, there's not a lot of Dark Elf or Dark Eldar players out there right now. Well, typically a new codex might spurn that to happen and pull their models out of the woodworks, because ever since 3rd edition Warhammer 40,000, the Dark Eldar have been around. And basically, one of my best friends, you know, he got into Dark Elves because I wanted the Space Marines out of the 3rd edition box back when we were teenagers or kids. I think we were teenagers back then. And yeah, I think we were like 15. And I had already gotten the 2nd edition starter box with the old like side bolter Space Marines and the crazy pipe laying missile launcher guy, and just those real basic ones. And my other friend had gotten the Grots and the Orcs out of there, which was like a mass load of them, and then combined it with Gorka Morka. But I've been playing against Dark Eldar since back in the day. Feels like that was probably the mid to late 90s, probably late 90s that they've been around. So there's certainly a lot of players that may be coming out of the woodworks, and there's a lot of product just in general on the Games Workshop website. When you take a look at how many items are available for the Drukhari list, so this number of items here shows you how many items there are available. There's 42 unique items in the Drukhari catalog on the Games Workshop store. Now, I call them unique. Obviously, a Talos and a Kronos are in the same box, and you'll see a lot of that duplication between different configurations, the way that you can assemble models from the same box. But still, kind of goes without saying, there are a lot more variety in this army. A lot of plastic kits, too. A lot of plastic kits for this army. It's a surprising amount, even things like Scourges and stuff that you don't generally see on the tabletop. So stay tuned, guys. We're going to come out with some more news here in the next couple days. I fully expect some exciting new releases to be announced this week, and looking forward to hearing from you guys in the comments below. Make sure you like the video. Helps to get out there to other people. We keep that going strong. We can grow this community, and stay tight.